It's that time again to ask the experts. So here to answer your questions live on the air is Dr. Sonal Harder with Dignity Health Medical Group. But before we get to the questions, we did want to touch really quickly on the salt thing one more time.
Yes, so we were speaking of heart disease.
Right.
Salt is salt, and here's what I want our viewers to know. It's American Heart Association recommends about 2,300 milligrams per day and no more than that, and actually closer to 1,500. Average Americans consume about 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams per day. So we just have to be cautious of where the salt is coming from and try to reduce it as much as possible for better heart health.
Exactly. Okay, I'm glad we got that in because that's important. Our first question, there's so many oils out there between olive, grapeseed, and canola. What's the healthiest oil to use for cooking?
Okay, so there was a recent publication that actually showed virgin olive oil happens to be the better oil out of all the oils, and that's because it has monounsaturated fats or oleic acid, things that are good fat. This is good fat that we need for our heart health.
Okay.
So I would stick to olive oil or virgin olive oil.
And not necessarily extra virgin olive oil, which can be a little bit more pricey. We were talking about budget earlier.
And extra virgin oil actually is good for salads, but when it comes to cooking and heating, I think the olive oil, just regular olive oil, is a good idea.
Okay, next from Sharon in Cave Creek, is there a best practice for speeding up metabolism? Is there?
Oh, Sharon, I love this question. So metabolism is determined by age, hormones, as well as genetics. But here are some things that actually can boost your metabolism. One is high intensity workouts. So when you go from, running really fast and then slowing down and going back up fast again for a few minutes, that type of workouts. Strength training, building your muscle definitely boosts your metabolism. Eating adequate protein at every meal also can boost your metabolism. Sleeping well, so making sure that you're getting good night's sleep. Green tea has some studies that actually can boost metabolism. So those are some ways to actually boost your metabolism at a baseline.
And if you're a coffee drinker, maybe replace a cup of coffee a week with a green tea.
Yeah. And actually coffee also has some impact on metabolism, boosting it, but green tea has a little bit more evidence behind it. So.
Okay. Another question coming in, what about frozen versus fresh vegetables? We talked about blending the fruit and taking away the quality, which was untrue. Frozen versus fresh.
So actually, there is no evidence that says one is superior to the other. Here's how I would look at it. If you're bringing your vegetables from your backyard to your table, that's the best option. Okay. Or farm to the table, that's the best option because they're less processed. There's no delay in transportation. Some of the problem with fresh vegetables is the time that they are picked before they're ripe and then transportation to the grocery store. And sometimes it's actually, budget, like frozen vegetables and fruits seem to be a little bit more beneficial. They have the same nutrients as fresh vegetables. I prefer berries that are frozen because I feel like raspberries, blueberries go bad so quickly that frozen berries seem to actually have more.
Yeah, you can't eat them enough and you're wasting and then back to the butt.
Exactly.
Okay. Does drinking diluted apple cider vinegar in the morning help with your metabolism?
There is very, very small data on apple cider vinegar in weight loss. I would not rely on this technique to actually boost your metabolism because we don't have solid evidence to back this up.
Okay, but it can't hurt, I suppose.
It can't hurt, exactly.
Okay. All right, good
if
question.
If you take it in recommended
doses,
doses.
Yes. Okay, good. Great question. All right, great. Dr. Sonal Harder, thank you so much for being here on this Friday.